Hello everyone, my name is Arthur Morris and welcome to Solving OR Compound Inequality. Okay, when we solve the OR type compound inequalities, we merge the two individual solutions together all into one solution. The way you can differentiate between an OR inequality and an AND inequality is that an OR inequality will always use the word OR. Okay, so let's look at a few examples here. This first example, we have negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 4, and 5x minus 20 is greater than or equal to 5. So we'll solve each one of the inequalities separately. So here I will divide both sides by negative 2. Since I divided both sides of my inequality by a negative number, I have to remember to flip my inequality. So that becomes x is greater than or equal to positive. My next inequality, let's add 20 to each side. And then divide by 5. So x is greater than or equal to 5. Now, in that one, I did not reverse my inequality symbol because I divided by a positive number. So I have x is greater than or equal to 2, or x is greater than or equal to 5. So what I need to make sure is that in my final solution graph, both of those conditions are met. It's not the intersection, it's making sure that both of the conditions are met. So x is greater than or equal to 2, that will be a bracket at 2, shading to the right. X is greater than or equal to 5, that will be a bracket at 5, shading to the right. Now, as you can see, my x is greater than or equal to 2 takes care of my x is greater than or equal to 5. So my final solution to include both of those graphs or solutions would be x is greater than or equal to 2 because it covers the x is greater than or equal to 5. So bracket 2 to positive infinity would be my solution in interval notation. Okay, have a look at this one. We have 3 parentheses x minus 1 is less than 12, or x plus 7 is greater than 10. So the first thing that you would want to do in that first inequality is to clear the parentheses by using the distributive property. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Then we would want to add 3 to each side. Gives us 3x is less than or equal to 15. And last, we would divide each side by 3 to find out 1x is less than 5. Okay, my second inequality, I had x plus 7 is greater than 10. So we would just subtract 7 from each side to solve that one. So I have x less than 5 or x is greater than 3. So x is less than 5. Remember, our objective with the OR inequalities is to make sure that both of our solutions is taken care of all in one solution. So x is less than 5, parentheses, because we did not have the or equal to. X is greater than 3. parentheses. Now, if I merge those two graphs together, then I see that my entire line is shaded. If I merge those two graphs together, I see that my entire line is shaded. So therefore, my solution would be from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity. Okay? All right, let's look at this one. We have x plus 4 is less than 0 or 6x is greater than negative 12. All right, so in the first one, we would subtract 4 from each side. Makes x is less than negative 4. Second one, we would divide both sides by 6. That makes x is greater than negative 2. Okay, so looking at the graphs of each one of those, x is less than negative 4, parentheses at negative 4, shading to the left. X is greater than negative 2, parentheses at negative 2, shading to the right. So if I merge those two graphs together, then we have a little gap there. We have from negative 4, shaded to the left. Then we have from negative 2, shaded to the right. Now, to write our answer like this in interval notation where we have a gap in between shadings, then we would go from negative infinity all the way to negative 4, parentheses, and then we use the union symbol. Looks like a U. The union symbol, and we write the other part of the inequality. Negative 2 to positive infinity. So remember, when we're writing in interval notation, we're reading from left to right. That's important. Okay? So if you have a break in the graph when you write your interval notation, you need to use the union symbol to connect those.